Time for business then. Stephen's on set as ever. It's starting with Sony today, aren't you? The company's chief executive speaking for the first time since the computer systems were hacked there.
Yeah, that's right. Kazuo Hirai publicly condemning the cyber attack on Sony's film division as one of the most vicious in recent history. Unreleased films, internal emails and personal details of staff at Sony were leaked online in November in response to their comedy film The Interview, which depicts a fictional plot to assassinate the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Now, US investigators say Pyongyang was behind the attack, but authorities there have denied being involved. Speaking at Sony's press conference just ahead of the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, Kazuo Hirai thanked people for going to see the film.
Both Sony Pictures Entertainment, former employees, and certainly current employees, they were unfortunately the victim of one of the most vicious and malicious cyber attacks that we've known, certainly in recent history. But I have to say that I'm very proud of all the employees and certainly the partners that we've worked with as well, who stood up against some of the extortionist efforts of the criminals.
Yeah, strong words from Sony there. Now, the sliding price of oil still making the news today.
Yeah, that's right. Another tumble on the oil markets on Monday. The Brent crude index falling by more than $3 per barrel. The US index actually went below $50 a barrel at one stage. Now, you can see it's trading slightly up today, but still around $53 a barrel. Oil prices cut in half in the past 6 months as supply increases and demand shrinks. While the fall in oil prices has hit countries including Russia and Venezuela hard, it's actually benefiting the United States. Kate Moody explains.
A glut of oil saturating the market. The past 6 months have seen the most dramatic fall in the price of oil in years, a positive development for the U.S., according to the White House.
We believe that falling gas prices are, as a general matter, pretty good for the economy, and it certainly is good for middle-class families that are being pinched. And when they go to the pump and they see that the prices at the pump are up to $1 cheaper than they were last year, that certainly means more money in the pocket of middle-class families.
More money to spend on other things. Car sales have shot up and even fuel-guzzling SUVs have made a comeback. The increase in public spending has in turn boosted the U.S. economy. It grew by 5% during the third quarter of last year, the fastest pace in a decade. But falling oil prices aren't good for everyone. The energy sector has taken a big hit and is looking to reclaim profits by cutting costs and likely jobs. Texas is currently thought to be the top job-creating state in America thanks to the boom in shale oil. But just like other oil-rich states, it's now bracing for layoffs.
Now, that issue driving down the stock markets today as well in Asia. We've seen the Nikkei in Tokyo close down by almost 3% in trading. As you can see there, the Hang Seng in Hong Kong and the Kospi in Seoul all trading pretty significantly down. Now, falling oil prices, of course, can be good for an economy, but in the short term it tends to lead to layoffs from energy companies, cuts in investment and the sorts of things that don't make the markets very happy. Worries over the future of the Eurozone also hitting shares. We were talking about the euro against the dollar hitting 9-year lows just over 24 hours ago. In fact, it's recovered significantly in currency terms, the euro up about 1 cent on where it was trading yesterday. We'll move on now to look at some of the day's other top business stories. And the smartphone maker HTC has seen its first rise in quarterly revenues in 4 years. The Taiwanese company's sales were boosted by its new mid-range smartphones and a tablet that it produced with Google. HTC's been suffering from shrinking market share in the wake of increased competition from Samsung and Chinese manufacturers like Xiaomi and Lenovo. Morgan Stanley has fired one of its financial advisors after accusing him of stealing account data of around 350,000 customers. The American investment bank claims the former employee downloaded about 10% of its client database. The company says there's no evidence any of their clients lost money as a result of the leak. And JP Morgan is set to become the first bank to settle civil lawsuits over its manipulation of the foreign exchange market. The US lender to pay around $100 million to settle the claims that were taken by hedge and pension funds. JP Morgan has already agreed to pay over $1 billion in a deal with US and European regulators.
Now, finally, Stephen's got another treat for us from the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. We mentioned it earlier, didn't we? But this is something different.
There's so much to pick out from this show. I think you can pick any number of things in a day. Drones, though, one of the really big features of the CES show this year. And this is the AirDog. A drone that's known because it follows its owners. They can film them doing extreme sports. You've got quad biking there. That's the AirDog. It's about 4 pounds in weight, and it uses a tracking device rather to frame and stabilize the shot while it's being filmed. It's pretty incredible pictures you can see coming from this drone. Now, the creators say that it could be used for skiing or surfing and can travel over all terrains, but you'd really want that video clip because they cost around $1,000 each. These AirDogs, but still pretty
it's impressive, isn't it? We could get one around here, couldn't we? Spinning around the top of the studio.
Nobody needs to see that.
Thanks a lot, Stephen.